Hi guys, today we're going to react to Spring Thief by YORUSHIKA. This is a BuyMeACoffee request from DragonPhly. Thank you, DragonPhly, for this request. We appreciate all your support.
Thank you, DragonPhly. We appreciate another YORUSHIKA request. Let's check it out.
高架橋を抜けたら雲の隙間に青が覗いた最近どうも暑いからただ風が吹くの待ってた木陰に座る何か頬につく見上げれば頭上に咲いて散るも少なくなった春の匂いはもうやむ今年も夏が来るのか高架橋を抜けたら道の先に君が覗いた残りはどれだけかなどれだけ春に会えるだろう川沿いの木陰に座るまた昨日と変わらず今日も咲く
Their lead singer is a phenomenal singer. I mean, her voice is caressing, powerful, and filled with pain all at the same time. And the band itself, the entire performance, even though it's very pleasurable to listen to them, I think they're restrained because the song requires it. All the songs that we've heard from YORUSHIKA require a certain level of restraint. It feels precise. It feels like it's engineered. Nothing is improvised. I feel a certain sense of calm and solace from listening to their particular style of sound.
As we mentioned in our previous reactions to them, the sound of the song or the tempo or the feel you get from it is always very different to the meaning behind the lyrics. In this one, it's a little less poppy and breezy. There's almost an element of a ballad here that brings you almost closer to the meaning of the lyrics than the previous songs we've heard from them. It's a little bit slower. There's more of an element of pain and sadness behind this one, I think. It's possibly that, or because we have become somewhat accustomed to the fact that this is
we're
what
biased.
they do. Yeah, there might be something to that as well. I don't know. But you're right. Her voice is fantastic and it is exactly fitting to what they're trying to do. It works beautifully with that style that they have. They have put very much a signature on their sound, which I'm really, really enjoying so far.
「
Beautiful.
Very cool. First of all, awesome song. Something that we always bring up when reacting to YORUSHIKA that we didn't actually talk about this time is that they are a band that is sort of shrouded in mystery, shrouded in darkness. And one thing that I noticed here is that we've talked about it in the past, and I mentioned it earlier, that their songs have a sadness to them that is generally very different to the sound of the song, which is usually poppy and breezy. And it just popped to mind that they are a band that is hidden in darkness, but the darkness to their songs are hidden in a poppy, breezy melody, almost the opposite. And I do think that's partly the intent and what they're trying to do, which is really interesting. To my understanding, or to my guess, this is almost their reason for existing, to get through some kind of personal trauma to do with loss. And all of their songs in one way or another relate to that, as I believe this one does as well.
Yeah, I do too. Our familiarity with YORUSHIKA has brought us to neglect to mention, as you said, the fact that they're shrouded in darkness. I think it's a unique way of using different vehicles to convey a message or a certain sound. Because if you listen to YORUSHIKA and you don't speak Japanese, you get an entirely different experience than looking at them. Because if you don't speak Japanese and you see them perform, then you'll have questions. You'll wonder why they don't show their faces in that specific fashion, because they have all these displays on the screen behind them. It's not like they're wearing masks, something grandiose as a part of their showmanship. It's just that they're in the shadows. The way that they hide themselves is a message all on its own, to me at least. And it correlates here to the subject matter. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the subject matter in this specific song is also about loss. It's a bit unclear reading the lyrics. It's a bit unclear what they meant, because the general idea I got from it is that there's an annual event, cherry blossom event, that happens in the spring that has been destroyed by a storm. So the narrator or the singer couldn't share that moment with a loved one. And I can't put my finger on if she means that they can't enjoy the cherry blossom together because an actual storm came and they could experience it in that certain spring, or the storm means that that person has passed away and so they couldn't share that moment again. It could go either way, but that's what I got from it.
Yeah, I think that this is definitely about someone who's passed away. At first, I wasn't even sure about the exact meaning and talking about coming to meet the other person or whatever. And then it just hit me because I was just starting to get visuals. There's a lot of sort of vivid description. After I passed through the elevated bridge, I could see the blue sky peeking through the clouds. It's really hot lately, so I was just waiting for the breeze. And it describes things around the location and sitting on the grass under the tree. To me, it just felt like it's either the person was visiting a grave, or this is a place that meant something to both, and the narrator has gone there to remember the past. The past, as you said, included something to do with spring, because spring would be the time that they were there when the other person was alive. So to share that beautiful weather and the cherry blossoms coming up and all other flowers and the weather and everything. And it's this person keeps going there for that memory, either again to a grave or just to a location. And this is signifying in some way their inability to let go. So the real spring thief here is the loss that steals their ability to enjoy spring again, because their spring is now taken hostage by these memories and by the mourning of this person and by revisiting old memories. You don't go and create new ones. You don't move on from that. And I think that there was one line, it was in the second verse. The next day I met up with you again in the same place. There weren't that many people who go to see the cherry blossoms anymore. I couldn't smell spring in the air anymore. Will the summer come again this year? So it's this person doesn't even know if they'll be able to go on to summer, which signifies, will I move on from the spring? Even in the third verse, when I passed the elevated bridge, I could see you peeking from the end of the road. That's what made me think of a grave site that they're going to visit. I wonder how much is left. I wonder how long can I still encounter the spring? So this person is just holding on so tightly because spring has that meaning. How long have I got for spring to end? It's either so I can move on and live life, or I want more time with you. I want more time to mourn. I want more time to feel this feeling. And it's just sad and deep and interesting, and I could be way off on a lot of it.
Yeah, it's all speculation. But what I did enjoy, in trying to understand the process that the narrator is going through, is that the fact that there is sensory conditioning, so they experience different scents and different sights and feelings in that time of year, that before their loved one passed, they had enjoyed these moments with their loved one. So these experiences, they pull up old memories, and because in their grief process, they still haven't assigned these memories to be sweet in their minds. They're still dealing with the loss, so it involuntarily brings them down, makes them feel the loss in even greater form, just by experiencing those moments again. And that kind of tells me where they are in their grief process. They're not over it yet. They're not celebrating this person's life yet. They're not clinging on to the sweet moments. They're still hurting.
And the bridge there, I think, kind of gave it away, maybe, that this is kind of what it means. Today, I'll go to see you as well. Then I'll sit beneath the shade of a tree and let out a sigh. The flowers have stopped blooming. I'll go to see you again tomorrow. Spring is coming to an end. Time is falling like the remnants of the past. I think that pretty much says that, yeah, this person's gone. I'll come to visit you again, but there's no interaction with this other person.
Yeah.
So obviously they're not there. There's something just very, very heartbreaking about every YORUSHIKA song so far that we've encountered, because it deals with the same loss of a loved one, of a relationship, of whatever. And it's just this mourning, and it feels fresh every time. It feels like it's a fresh loss, like somebody is unable to get over something. And the one thing that gives it a positive spin in my mind is the fact that these songs exist, which feels like a therapy session. That's what the whole purpose is, to get through something. I mean, it is therapy in any way you look at it. Art is therapy, writing about pain, about things that hurt you, whether it's failure or loss or whatever else. And they do it so well, because again, their songs are so effective. I mean, we've done a few now, and every time it brings us to this very similar discussion, but the feeling is slightly different, and it is fresh every time. Every time, like, I feel it again. They just never fail to get the reaction that they're trying to get out of us.
Yeah, and because they hide themselves in the shadows, they want the listener to experience all that just from the music. They don't want you to interpret their expressions. And there's something very unique about that specific message.
And as we've mentioned before, it's kind of stripped of ego. So there's something admirable about it as well. I even love the feeling that it gives me, even though it makes me sort of sad every time, just to kind of try to find the meaning. It takes you to that point where you have to kind of relate it to yourself and to any personal loss you've had, and to understand it. And in that way, it also, I think, helps people who listen to their music come to terms with their own loss and, you know, and with their own pain. So as always, art heals, music heals, and yeah, just beautiful.
Yeah, there's also an element of intellectual stimulation. It's interesting to see a band perform like that. It's not just the emotional element.
Absolutely. Fantastic band. Thank you, DragonPhly, for another YORUSHIKA request. This band is just absolutely fantastic. We are loving every request that you send our way, and we appreciate you being with us for so long, and for your continued support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DragonPhly, for allowing us yet again to contemplate on the entity that is YORUSHIKA. More of this would be much appreciated. Thank you very much for all your support. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click the little bell icon so you get notified on all our future videos. If you have a song in mind you'd like us to react to, please make it through BuyMeACoffee so we'll get a chance to get to it. The link is at the top of the description below. Thanks again for your time and for sticking with us.
As always, our YORUSHIKA reactions playlist should be up on the screen sometime about now. Please give it a click, check it out, and let us know what you think. We hope you enjoy it as much as we have. Thank you very much for all the support coming our way, guys. We appreciate you. Without you, there would be no show, so keep coming back. We'll be here in a couple of days with a new episode. We hope to see you all then. Thanks again, guys. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.